Hello and welcome. Happy Tuesday. You are live with Sandra at It's All About Choices, where you take action in regards to your weight, your health, and your wellness. And I help you to make the best choices for you. Every Tuesday, I have the pleasure of dishing out your daily dose of nutrition news for your mind, your body, and your soul. And I hope everybody is having a wonderful Tuesday so far. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I hope your day is going good. And I appreciate you taking time out and pausing for a moment. Hopefully, this is your lunch hour where you can join in and get some news and some information that will help move you forward in your journey of health and wellness and even weight loss. And for those who are listening to the replay, I also thank you for taking time out and pausing at the end of your hectic day to listen and to tune in. And for those who are listening to the replay, I encourage you to still make comments, still post, and participate, as I want you to feel as part of this as those who are listening live. And I will go back, look at the thread, and respond to any questions or comments that you may have. And so we are continuing on our training of mindful eating and weight loss. And how do you develop that mindset to lose weight? And so before we jump in, give me a moment to get my windows together. So as people are chiming in, definitely please let me know that you're on. Say hello to me and let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're new and you're joining in for the first time, so definitely let us know where you're tuning in from. And so I have my windows set up. So now when you engage, I am able to see your names and I'm able to engage. And I like for us to have two-way conversations. So it's not just me talking at you. And so, with this particular series, we're going to learn some strategies, some tricks, some tips, some secrets to help you to avoid overeating out of stress, out of anxiety, out of boredom, out of overwhelm. And of course, it leads to unwanted weight gain. And in many cases, it goes a step further and it leads to health complications. And so, today we are talking about digging yourself out of the weight loss gain pit, okay, that yo-yo kind of pit, where we're going to talk about 7 critical keys to crush that black and white thinking. Many of us know it as that all or nothing thinking, which self-sabotages us every single time because we are human and we must give ourselves grace. That's probably one of the biggest things we must do in this lifestyle change journey, this weight loss change journey, getting healthier, establishing new habits, is to give yourself some grace. Okay. And so what I want to ask you is, when you start a new plan, a new weight loss plan, and you just want to eat healthier, you want to clean up some of the things that you're doing. Do you feel like you are either all in or all out? Like there is no middle ground. So think about that. There's no no room for error. And if so, you've fallen into that trap. It's a trap of black and white thinking, and the single most roadblock is on the way, and that is your mindset. Okay, because we feel like we have to do everything just right and we can't mess up or take one extra bite because it's going to derail everything that we've done. But what if you can change that? Okay, what if it was possible to, if you're eating healthier and your weight loss goals weren't dependent on your job, your life, or you being perfect? Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about that today. I'm going to give you a step-by-step strategy, some step-by-step tips and some tricks, some secrets to challenge and change your thoughts and your beliefs and your attitudes about your approach to losing weight from a mindset perspective. It doesn't have to be this treacherous, you know, there's, oh my gosh, I got to give up so much stuff type of situation. So in fact, these are the same exact steps that I follow when I use this to challenge my own thoughts and to challenge and to escape the self-sabotage, the grip that it has on the black and white type of thinking. And so we're going to talk about these 7 steps really, really quickly. And so for those who don't know me, my name is Sandra Gultry, and I am a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and I'm also a certified personal trainer. And I help adults simply overcome that sense of frustration, that overwhelm associated with failed attempts at losing weight, keeping it off, and improving their overall health status. So simple as that. Is the goal is to build lifestyle habits that last for life, and that is a progressive process. It's not nothing that happens overnight. It's a marathon. It's not a race, right? And so by now, you have seen many promos about the Back on Track, which is my free 60-minute session to discover your personalized keys to weight loss success. And so we got one more week that you are able to sign up for this. Okay. And what this is all about is for those who want to take a deeper dive, okay, who want to go a deeper dive than what we talk about today, or even anything that you've heard in my lives, then you'll get more insight on ending that vicious cycle of weight loss, weight gain that we tend, that plateauing, building a healthier relationship with food. Many of us want to know, what do I need to eat for my body? Okay, what is it that I need to do to make it work? Getting back to your old self. A lot of times, many people say, oh, I just don't feel the way that I used to. I'm not as motivated to go out. I just want to stay home. So get back to enjoying life and have more energy and focus throughout the day. That's what it's all about. Life is too short, right? So while we're here, we want to enjoy it and we want to feel the best and look our best possible. So basically, you want to be the best version of yourself. So stay with me to the end, and I'll give you more information and more details on how you can sign up for this very special opportunity. All right. And so for those who are not able to stay on to the end, let me see here if I can give you this link here, and I will put it in the chat and you guys can check it out while I'm on the call. But I'm going to give more details on it on this live here. All right, so let's jump right in. So my question for you starting out is, I want to get an assessment of those who are on. I see several people on. So say hello to me, please. When you start a weight loss plan, I had talked about this a minute ago, or you just kind of making some changes to how you're eating, do you feel like you are putting all in or all out? If you are that type of a person where it's perfection all the way, or is there some middle ground? Okay, so kind of reflect. You may not have ever thought about it before, but kind of think about your actions. You know, if you're doing things and maybe you don't get the results that you need, or you felt like you messed up, or you felt like you didn't do something right, did that kind of shift your mood from that positive space to a negative space? If that's the case, then that's an all in, all out situation. If there's some middle ground where you're like, okay, I messed up, but I'll do better next time, then that's kind of some middle ground that you're giving yourself some room there for making mistakes. Okay. And so for those tuning in, we're going to talk about how to dig yourself out of the weight loss, weight gain pit. So we're going to talk about some seven critical keys. And so, what is, and I'm going to look for some comments while people are, while we're going on to all in. Okay. So all in is what I saw there. And let me get my window back right. All right, I had to get my window back right. I almost lost it. All right, so thank you for sharing that. So what is black and white thinking? So let's talk about that. Let's see here. What is black and white thinking? So black and white thinking is when you see things in absolutes, okay? Meaning it's either all in, or it's either all or nothing. It's either right or wrong. It's either on or off. It's left or right. There's no in between. There's no shades of gray. Okay. And so one of the number one keys to crushing black and white thinking, one of the seven keys, is to learn how to spot that form of thinking. So, because a lot of times it's things that we say, a lot of times it's things that we are doing. So first of all, one of the keys is learn how to spot it. So before you can change those type of thoughts, we call them kind of self-sabotaging thoughts, you must know how to identify it. You must realize that it's even happening. Okay. And so when you're talking to others or even yourself, pay attention to keywords like are always, never, impossible, perfect, ruined. So think about those type of keywords: always, never, impossible, perfect, ruined. Those are pretty strong words, right? And so here are some examples of how you use those words. So think about if you've ever heard yourself say this: I eat great during the day, but I always binge at night. I never make it more than like 3 weeks into a diet before it all comes crashing down. So think about if you said anything remotely close to this. Now is not a good time. There's too much going on. I'm waiting for the perfect time to start, waiting for things to slow down, waiting for the storm to calm down. Or I just downed a row of Oreos. Well, I guess my diet is ruined. So what do you think? So now you're thinking, it's impossible to finish this diet out. So I'll just start again when I can give it my full attention. Okay. So think about if you've ever said anything along those lines. Okay. Catching yourself using those all or nothing type of words it's really impactful because you can even think it. You may not have verbally said it, but the fact that you think it is really, really important. So second, okay, number 2 of 7, and I'm looking for my banners here. So number 2 of 7, describe the situation. So you want to describe the situation. So in this step, this is where we briefly describe the situation or the circumstances that led to those thoughts. There's always a trigger, okay? So there's something led you to say, oh, I can only go 3 days or, oh, 3 weeks before I mess up. So something triggers that. So usually so here are some examples of some of those triggers. The pressure at work or school is just growing and growing and growing. Or you put off a project to the last minute and it's due, you're stressed, and of course everything is going wrong that can possibly go wrong. You woke up late. So you woke up late, everything's behind, you're rushing, things fell through the cracks, or maybe you had an argument. So now you're stressed. You got a whole lot of emotions going on and things of that nature. So think about that. So post yes or no if you ever said those type of words before. So either yes or no if you have felt these type of words before, or so like dot dot dot, whatever the dot 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 is. But I always binge at night, or dot dot dot, I never make it more than 3 weeks until you decide you're going to have an overindulgence, or dot dot dot, you're waiting for the perfect time to start. Monday is very popular, the beginning of the month. It's very popular. Dot dot dot, I guess my diet is ruined. Let's say you ate a slice of pizza or something, or you ate something that was in the break room, that you ate a donut and you feel like everything has been derailed. Dot dot dot, impossible to keep this diet going on now because it's just way too much going on in my life. So yes or no if you have ever said any of those things, okay? And I will look and check for some comments. Okay, I see some comments here. Yes, they have, and I have too. So that is not out of the ordinary. So number 3 of 7, capture the stories you tell yourself, okay? Capture the stories you tell yourself, because we can tell ourselves and convince ourselves of a lot of things, and it makes perfect sense and it justifies whatever it is we wanted to justify, right? So in this case, you will capture the thought that you had immediately after the triggering event, which we just had. Let's say you ate a whole row of Oreos. So that's the event. Okay, so now what are we thinking subconsciously? So now an example of that is, this always happens. This always happens. This is why I've never been able to stick to a diet. So think of something that you've done, and you just say, man, this happens to me every single time. So notice the black and white thinking there, okay? And that second thought, this is why you never stick to a diet, because this always happens. Maybe you lose your motivation. The scale is a big one. People get on the scale. They go in with an unrealistic expectation of losing 5 pounds in the first week, and maybe they lost 1. And so therefore, this is why I don't diet. So we got to think about the things that we set ourselves up for. Another example is, your diet is ruined. And so now you're going to wait because I downed these Oreos. I'm stressed. Too much is going on. So now I'm going to wait until things calm down before I try this thing again. Okay. But truth of the matter is, does it ever calm down? When one storm ends, guess what? Another one starts, right? So we are never promised calm days, right? So that's just kind of, we have to work with it. And that's one of the things that I do with my clients. I'm like, the situations, they're going to change, but they're still there. So we got to work with it. We got to manage ourselves and keep ourselves together during the storm so we can better handle the storm versus dropping everything, because now we're weak, we're tired, we're losing sleep, we're not eating, or we're eating out, we're not exercising. So it's just a domino effect of the wrong stuff, right? So key number 4, okay, secret critical key number 4 to getting out of that pit. So pinpoint the emotions, okay? Pinpoint the emotions that you have told yourself, okay? The story that you have told yourself as the reason why you don't diet or you need to wait. And in this step, you want to describe the feelings or emotions that you had, okay? So were you feeling overwhelmed? Okay, maybe a lot going on at work, a lot going on with your family. Were you feeling frustrated? Okay, maybe because you're like, okay, this is yet another failed attempt. I've been here thousands of times. I lost weight, I gained it back. So maybe you're feeling frustrated, or you're feeling angry because you feel like you don't have what it takes to do this. You should be able to do this, but you don't understand why. You can manage your job, you can manage your kids, you can manage everything else, but for some reason you can't get the eating part right. You can't get the weight loss part right. So maybe it's feelings of anger, okay? Or maybe it's feelings of despair. Maybe you feel like, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit of relief because you're putting so much pressure on yourself maybe to lose the weight. And a lot of that pressure is self-induced because we have these expectations that may or may not be the best or realistic expectations. So we have to think about those kind of things. Or, so think about if you have experienced any of that. And so now now we figured out all these emotions and we figured out the triggers and we figured out the results. Describe the result of your thoughts and emotions. So kind of pause and I'm going to recap, especially for those that are chiming in a little bit later. This is a situation. You started this new diet or this new eating plan for 2 weeks. Everything was going great until you got this unexpected workload dumped on you. And now all of a sudden your focus is not as much as it used to be. Now it's a little bit more challenging to plan and prep. Maybe it's a little bit more challenging to get that exercise in. It's a little bit challenging to go to the grocery store. Okay. And so now you're like, wow, this is why I don't never start a diet. This is why I can never get this right, because it's impossible for me to do this because stuff keeps coming up. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. And then we talk about all the emotions that go along with it. We feel overwhelmed. We feel frustrated because, hey, I'm tired of being in this place. You're angry. You're feeling despair. And so then when you look at the reactions, then you just decide to, okay, I'm just not going to do this anymore. I'm going to wait until things are calmer. I'm going to wait until I have the time. I'm going to wait until whatever blows over, okay? Which we were saying, it really doesn't, right? And so how do you change these thoughts? How do you get out of this is the pit, okay? So hopefully you kind of visualizing that this is the pit that we're talking about, and we stay in it, and we're in it so long that we don't even realize that it is a pit because we kind of get used to it. We kind of get used to it, and we come to expect it. So which emotion describes you, okay, on this vicious cycle? So do you find yourself overwhelmed, frustrated, angry, feeling despair when you feel like, okay, I'm constantly in the same place? It's been a year. Some people, it's been years in the same place, kind of that same vicious cycle. Where does that leave you feeling? Frustrated, angry, despair? Some people feel defeated. That's another one, defeated. And it's common, it's common, but just know it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't. And that is a perfect lead into, before I get into my final 2 points, that's the perfect lead into these back on track sessions, because I should always share, if you have been struggling for more than 6 months, and you haven't seen any real significant change in how you feel, your inches lost, your weight, your health, because a lot of things can happen in a 3-month period of time when things are done in a healthy manner, to where it changes behaviors and not just a Band-Aid. And so that's what this is all about. It's about taking a deeper dive to figure out what it is that's going to work for you. Okay, we're going into the summer. Many people want to look a certain way. They want to go to the beach. They want to wear shorts. They want to wear swimsuits, but they do not feel comfortable with that. And so that is what this is all about. Keeping the body ready. I always like to say, you want to stay ready. You don't want to get ready just because summer's starting in a month. You want to stay ready throughout the year, because we don't know what's going to happen. We want to keep our immune system strong. We want to keep our body strong from the inside out. And you want to look in the mirror and like what you see. And so what this is about is I'm inviting you to a one-on-one conversation. It's a phone conversation where we take a deeper dive and really determine what it is you need, okay? Because it's different for everybody. What it is that you need to do. What are the steps that you need to take, okay? And all of this is complimentary. It's regularly priced at $125, but this is complimentary, where I'm opening up 12 sessions, where on my calendar for 12. So I have a few left. I have a few left. Like I said, we have one more week before this opportunity closes, but it's a 60-minute phone conversation where we will determine the specific nutrition and weight loss path for you. What is it for you that you need? Okay. We will uncover those challenges, because we all have challenges. We all kind of have some some reservations, okay, in where we're, and because we've been stuck for so long, some people feel like they have to stay stuck. So we need to figure out what that is so we can move you past that. And then you will have some tangible next steps. So we don't want to talk for an hour and you don't have anything to work with, and that you don't have anything that you can move forward with. So that's the goal. You will have something tangible that you can implement the next day or even the same day, okay? And I did post that information on the slide there. And so I definitely want you to put your name in the hat, okay? Put your name in the hat. You'll fill out a short form that will give me more information on you so that I am prepared for our conversation and we can really just get to the point, okay? So, and what I'm looking for is I'm looking for people who are extremely motivated, who are committed, who are ready, who are, I like to say, sick and tired of being sick and tired. Okay. They've been doing this and they're looking for a different way. Okay. They want a different approach. They want something that's going to last. They don't, what's the point in losing 50 pounds if you gain it back? Why put yourself through such extreme measures? So we want to do things more naturally, more organically. And my advice is not to wait. Go ahead and apply. These sessions are going, and I do not want you to miss out. You will definitely feel disappointed. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Okay. And so definitely check out the information, and there's a video that goes into more detail. But again, I look forward to speaking with you, and I definitely encourage you to check it out. And so last 2 points. So we're focusing now on how to change the thoughts. How do we change, or how do we break these habits? Okay. And I'm going to give you 3 examples that challenge your thoughts. Okay. So I want you to ask yourself the things that you've been saying. Is it really true? Is it really a true statement? Okay. Is it really impossible? Is it really impossible for you to stick to a diet? Okay. I mean, those who know me know I don't like the word diet. Okay. Diet means deprivation and restrictions and all this other kind of stuff. Like you got to go through this period of torture to lose weight. But is it really impossible to stick to eating healthier and doing things a certain way and changing things? Is there anyone in a position, like mine, yourself, that has been able to eat healthier and lose weight and keep it going? Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. So asking yourself the right questions, you can start to see your actions and results as they're kind of, sometimes it's based off skewed rationale. I mean, so we want to be positive. We want to have a positive mindset and know that if the dots are connected and you have the right support and the right guidance, that yes, you can you can make changes. Even if you've been doing one thing for years, you can make changes. Okay. And so if we're being really honest about it, realizing that your initial thoughts aren't true or as true, is always enough reason to change. There's always room to change. So you always got to know that. So yes, there is a way out. And it doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be treacherous. And the point is, you need to enjoy food. Food is for fun and food is for enjoyment. So your weight loss journey should be a positive journey, okay? Not a journey of deprivation and fear and wondering if you are allowed to eat stuff. So it's all about opening options versus taking them away. So different approach, right? Different thoughts, right? And so number 7, so we want to choose our final one. We want to choose a new thought to crush the black and white thinking, to crush the all or nothing thinking. And the goal in this step is to find a replacement thought. So we always hear about, we need to replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts, right? So we want to, in the way I take it a step further, you got to say it until you believe it. Okay, because we know we're supposed to be positive. We know that in our headspace, but sometimes we don't always do it, and we still kind of have that pessimistic. I used to be that pessimistic girl too, but sometimes we just have to keep saying stuff, and then one day you're going to wake up and you're going to believe it. But the fact that you're feeding yourself positive things versus feeding yourself negative thoughts is huge, and so that's what we want to do, because it's about building a healthier relationship with food. Okay. Many of us do not have a healthy relationship with food, if we're being honest. So we want to make sure that we build a healthy relationship with food. There's no good, there's no bad. We don't want to put food on a pedestal. We don't want to fear things. So we want to that's where that lifestyle thing comes in, to where you're not fearing you eat something and it just derails everything. And so that's where that guidance and that direction comes into play. And so we want to start with the action. Okay, we want to start with the action that will lead you to positive thoughts. So here are 3 that I want you to take away with. The goal is progress. not perfection. Okay. I always say weight loss is not about weight loss. Okay. Losing weight is not about weight loss. There's so many other things that come into the pot when you're trying to lose weight. But remember, the goal is progress, not perfection. Okay. And if you slip, okay, I don't like to say fail. If you slip, then know that that's a teachable moment. Know that that is going to move you forward. Know that you need to experience that to know what to do next time. Because guess what? It's going to happen again. Okay. That is going to happen again. And then mistakes are proof of progress. Okay. It's proof of progress along with the guidance. So once you have the information, the right information to know that, okay, that mistake is really not derailing me. This is a teachable moment. My body's telling me something here that it wasn't able to tell me before. And then you know how to handle it differently next time. So that is what it's all about. And so those of you that need help, because I needed help. Remember, it took me 3 years to try to lose 20 pounds. I got help from a dietitian and I did it in 3 months. So I don't want you to waste 3 years. That's why I said 6 months. If you haven't gotten there in 6 months, then get some help. And so, and that's what the Back on Track sessions are all about, is just giving you that help. Okay. And so, thought-provoking questions. So ask yourself, what are your self-sabotaging thoughts that hinder you from either eating consistently or trying to eat healthier or to lose the weight? You know, what are your self-sabotaging thoughts that you're having? Okay. What is it that you may be doing to hinder yourself from moving forward? So it's always something, you know, we know what it is. It's just a lot of times we don't, but we got to do something different to correct it. Okay. So when you get to a point where we realize, I had to realize I couldn't fix it. I couldn't fix it. So I needed help. And so that once you make that decision in your mind, then that's life-changing. It was life-changing for me. All right. So, and just some of my self-sabotaging thoughts that I had, giving full transparency, I had feelings of overwhelm. And then I felt like when I wasn't going to get everything accomplished, or felt like I couldn't get everything accomplished, then that's when that fear set in, and I would stress eat as a result of that. And of course, it doesn't fix anything, but I went through that period. And so we all experience it. So I want you all to know that, because I am not immune. I am human, just like everybody else. And so I have to be intentional about how I handle things and how I handle stressful situations, just like everybody else, and the overwhelm. Okay. And so accountability, the support, the trained guidance, all of that is you owe it to yourself. You know, you really owe it to yourself. So don't hold back. It's not about being prideful. I was prideful. They're very private sessions. So definitely I encourage you to sign up and get on my calendar so that we can move you forward, so you can feel better about yourself, so you can enjoy what you see in the mirror. And for many of us, many women, we go shopping in your closet again. Many of us have clothes that we used to wear and we're not able to wear and we want to wear, and just know that you can. So do not get rid of them. Okay. You can make the changes. You can remember, controlling what's on your side of the street, and you can get back into those clothes. You say it to yourself, it will happen. It will definitely happen. And so I thank you for tuning in. Again, grab one of these sessions, put your name in the hat, fill out the short form, get on my calendar, and I look forward to it. This is the last week that we're going to have that opportunity to do that. Take advantage of it. So thank you for tuning in to this week's Lunch and Learn. I appreciate that. And let's see here. And next week, we're gonna wrap things up. We're gonna continue on this series. And so we're gonna talk about the often overlooked benefit of vitamin D and how it impacts our immune system. So we are still in this pandemic, and we still want to ensure that our body is ready for any and everything, and we're proactive about it. So have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening, and be blessed. Bye-bye.